This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off the Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hit ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
What wasn't supposed to happen? 844-999-OLA.
We were talking about the safari, right? Where, in this case, I guess these people are on safari. A lion tries to open the door, first with its paw, but then it gets freaky when it's using its mouth and knows to lift the handle, right? So you were saying, Miles, like, look, man, that's fine and dandy. I'm not going on safari in a Corolla. I need to be in like a Hummer or one of these reinforced.
I hear what you're saying. I could be completely wrong in my
matters.
logic. It just seems to me that
I don't think about, but whatever. This guy, his comment, he says, when I was a kid, there was a place called Lion Country Safari in Southern California, and we used to do exactly what you guys were talking about. My dad had a 77 Toyota Corolla. Man, we would drive through the plains, quote unquote, and see the lions and zebras and all sorts of scary things. I hated it.
Yeah, because you're in a Corolla.
That guy seems to corroborate your theory. Just saying.
And then like the lion sleeps tonight is on the radio or something when you're getting eaten.
Hello, Steve. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Yeah, hey, first of all, with the names there, my sister's best friend in high school, her name was Donna Bush, and she had a brother, his name was Harold.
Harold?
Oh, come on, man.
Well, look,
Harry Bush, dude. It's just, why would you as a parent, you can't let those things happen unless you're basically letting your kid know you hated them before they were born.
Harold.
Exactly.
You got to be a Harold. I guess you
have to go by Harold.
You're destined to be Harold.
Yeah, well, it didn't. Maybe he tried, but no.
Okay.
Of course not. So,
yeah.
Hey, so anyway, I'm with my girlfriend. We've been together for a couple of years, and things are moving on progressively. And I thought, okay, it's about time. So I go to get the diamond ring, and I make arrangements at a really super nice restaurant back in Colorado. And we have things planned with the wait staff there and everything else. So we get there, and she's all dressed up, and I'm dressed up. And it comes to the moment, and I'm getting ready to talk to her. She says, but first of all, she says, I need to tell you something. I said, okay, because I'm pretty nervous. She says, I'm pregnant, and it's by your cousin.
Oh!
No engagement.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow, man.
How close were you with your cousin?
He was my favorite cousin. He came out to visit me when I was living in California because he won a small lotto, and he was supposed to stay for, a couple, 3 days, and staying for 2 or 3 weeks, and now I know why. Hey, they've been together for over 20 years, so.
Oh, okay. So I guess
it worked out for them. It's cool.
He worked out for you, too. Because
it worked out really well for me because I don't have to put up with her stuff.
Well, no, because if it sounds to me like they were the two right people for each other, and there's it's like
they just found out before you.
Yeah, they had already had sex before you got to this point. It's better to get out of that beforehand than.
Well, did you have a niece or a nephew, by the way?
I have a niece, but they fight constantly. I mean, it's constant. It's hilarious. So I'm just laughing.
Does she know anything about it? Like, you're like, hey, man, never told you the story of how they, got together?
My parents and my sister know, but we just didn't really. They knew that we were together, but we broke up, and blah blah blah.
How long did it take you to be mature about that? Was it immediate, or did it take a few years for you to just all right, whatever?
It took a couple years before me saying. It's over. It's done with it. I was pretty pissed for a while there.
Well, sure.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's what I mean. Who wouldn't?
Well, I had the ring, man. I dropped a couple grand on that ring. This is 20 years ago.
Okay, so now
what's the return policy on that, man?
I was going to say, what happens with that ring?
I think I still have it in the safe at my parents' house.
Well, what are you going to do? Like, give it to the next chick that comes along? Because she's not going to want that ring.
She won't know.
No, I'll give it to one of my boys, and they can give it to whoever they want. I got to check see where it's at. I don't even know.
Trust me, they're never gonna want it. Everybody wants their own individual thing, unless it's an heirloom from their grandmother that they've wanted for years.
Yeah, but see, his son,
that's something that the woman already knows.
But his son, see, so all you got to do is pass it down one generation. Now, all his son has to say is, hey, this was passed down from my father. Doesn't have to say, because my aunt is a hoe.
Well,
he
just
doesn't
be
have
a
to say
grown-up. I wouldn't go, hey, do you want to marry? Can I have your hand in marriage? By the way, I got this second hand from a buddy.
Right, exactly.
But you wouldn't surrender that information.
That's why there's no point in saving a wedding dress for, like, oh, maybe my daughter will wear it. Like, no, she won't.
No, she won't.
She won't. Like, it's just this big vacuum box taking up room. No one's ever going to wear this. This is a one-trick show. Why can't people figure that out? That's why I rented a tux. Have you ever seen me in a tuxedo since that day? The answer, you know it.
Right.
That's why I don't have a vacuum tux somewhere.
Vacuum tux.
My son.
He's the man with the vacuum
Thanks,
tux.
Dad. Christian Dior with tails. What year is this?
Right.
Right? It's a one-off thing. Like, you might as well, what I'm saying is, take the ring and pawn it. Get whatever you can. Unless you got a big-ass diamond in there you want to save.
Do they take those back, though?
You could reuse the diamond if the diamond
I don't
is
know.
worth.
I mean, somebody must have walked back into a jewelry store and said, hey, she said no.
Right, because it happens,
or
man,
he
right?
said
But
no.
like,
You know what?
You pawn it, you're not going to get any of your value back.
Okay,
right?
you know what? I think that should be something that the jewelry company should do.
Like the warranty.
Yeah,
right?
say like, look, even if she says no, we have a 100% return policy. And you go like, God damn, man, you know what? I'm getting my stuff there.
Absolutely.
Just in case.
Hell yeah.
Just in case.
But did you go to that place
Right,
because you
exactly.
thought I might say no?
Right.
Hell yeah.
I wasn't sure of
Yeah.
the fence.
That's why I
Like
asked.
the ridiculous tennis bracelets for men that are just all iced out with diamonds and everything in it.
I have not.
I picture like a rapper.
Okay,
It's,
all right.
I don't know if it's a tennis bracelet on a guy, but it's the same thing, right?
Right.
So I have a friend that something similar to this happened, but he was going to buy the ring. So I think he returned the ring and then basically just bought this awesome piece of jewelry for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Look who's balling now. What wasn't supposed to happen? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Michael. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola.
How are you guys doing today?
Excellent.
So my story is a little bit of a follow-up to the guy that called earlier that fell off the waterfall.
Yeah.
That is called the Little Michelle Waterfall. And back in high school, me and two of my best friends, Sam and Evan, we decided that we were going to go day drinking and go tubing down this little river that he had told us about. And they said that they had been out there once before, or one of our other friends had told us he had been out there once before. And so we park up at the gravel lot. It's kind of a trek down there to get to the river. You start climbing down like a 20-foot rock face, and then you got to go across like an old railroad bridge, all that to get down there to the river. Well, finally we got down there, and we got down to the end where that waterfall is. Well, that waterfall kind of stages down, and my buddy was sitting on the ledge, and down below, it's about a 6 to 7 foot drop, and down below, it's almost like a little hot tub down there. And so we were like, oh, man, that'd be cool. My buddy was first thinking of just jumping straight down into it, and I had to talk him down of doing that because that was just straight crazy. And there was no way of getting back up in a quick and a hurry manner. So my buddy Evan's sitting on the edge, and it's about a 30-degree angle that he's sitting on. And he's like, oh, man, I can do it. I can get down there. And we're like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't. And he goes to push his feet to get back up, and he slips and slides down, and his foot hits, I think it was like a dip in the rock, but he's sitting down there, and we just hear him yell, F! And he's holding his leg, and we realize that he is sitting down with his leg straight, and his left ankle is 90 degrees to the left.
Oh, I snapped it in half.
So me and my buddy are standing at the top looking down at him, and we're freaking out. We're in high school. We're drinking. Nobody knew that we were there.
You got to cross
We
the
didn't know
railroad
what to
track. You got to go through here. You got to do all that stuff.
Oh,
You get
right.
to the car.
Yeah. Let me give you a little background of me. I'm a big guy. I'm the big guy of the group.
Okay.
So I decided to go back to the truck to go grab a phone. So I swim upriver
up the rock face, across the railroads, out to the truck, and the truck is locked. So I run out to the road, flailing my arms, finally flag somebody down. They call an ambulance. The ambulance gets out there maybe a half an hour later, and I'm worried. I don't know what's going on. You know, I mean, when he fell, he could reach his left arm over, and it was the water, like the edge of the waterfall. Jeez. He was right there. And so the EMTs got there. I told them that he was down there by the waterfall. They were like, "Oh yeah, we can't do that. We need to get a rappel team out here." So they call up a rappel team to come out, and finally, the rappel team shows up about an hour and a half later. They had tried to get down multiple ways to get down to him, and finally they get down there. They get him on a stretcher, and they start pulling him up the ledge. Well, when they're pulling him up the ledge, the guy at the bottom, the EMT at the bottom, he takes the goodie bag that he had full of tools and everything else. He throws it up, and it lands directly on his ankle.
Ah!
And all that guy had to say was, "S happens," right when it happened.
Oh, no.
So after that, he had a speedy recovery. It was like 3 weeks. He was on those one of those little knee scooters.
He's lucky he didn't go, but he's lucky he didn't go over 100-foot waterfall from that point, right?
Yeah, that was what we were scared about.
And you call? Could you just come one more time? Could you say the name of that fall again, just so it sinks in?
Michelle. It's the Little Michelle waterfall.
Okay, where's Big Michelle? If 100 feet.
Oh, she work around the way.
Like, I mean, who and where is Big Michelle?
Right.
God. All right, what wasn't supposed to happen? We've got your emails coming up from the men's room at mensroomlive.com. Also still to come, the return of Who Sucks Less, and the word goes down the drain. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, count up the return of Who Sucks Less. We'll drink and toast with a shot of the day. First time for a few emails from the men's room at mensroomlive.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Guys, want to wish our son Brian a happy 14th birthday. Can he get a barbershop fish sandwich, please? Thank you.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. I smell the fish sandwich, maybe some dill relish in the morning, at noon, and at night,
Very happy birthday to my wonderful daughter, Kendall. She is 18 today. Can she get an OG fish sandwich? And the Dirty Germans talking about how great it is not to be a minor anymore. That from the mama.
Fish sandwich?
Yeah, just because you are not a minor does not mean I cannot go digging in your cave.
Yeah, I mean, your mama's right. Welcome to womanhood.
Too close? 18?
Yeah, I don't know,
I'm right there
man.
with you. Yeah.
It feels very prey.
I've got an 18-year-old. I understand.
Yeah.
Ola Picholo's today is my
you do.
girlfriend, Ikea's birthday. I introduced her to you guys via the podcast, and she hasn't looked back.
We did not want to say anything before.
Yeah.
Thrill is
this barbecue, Miles? What's to come by?
Thrill is her favorite, so I'm sure she'd love to hear Shannon Sharp congratulate her on placing in the top 10 of her very first bodybuilding show. Rock on, bitches. By the way, I'm a professional MMA fighter, and I have a pretty cool picture with the Ted Smith. That is from Cameron, and her name is Akaya. Akaya Shannon Sharp style about her very first top 10 placement in a bodybuilding show.
Top 10 placement, you come in second place, shaping yourself. Make your body like a sculptor.
I wanted to wish my beautiful wife Danielle a happy birthday.
Sincerely, fan and thought.
With the Suck It Up cupcake and a cut that bitch off. Next caller. Thanks, guys. That from her husband, Brian.
So, suck it up, cupcake!
Cut that bitch off. Next caller.
Damn it. Guys, I wanted to wish... Just trying to pull that in so I could read it. I shut the whole freaking thing off. That thing sucks. I want to wish my beautiful wife, Danielle, a happy birthday with a Suck It Up cupcake and a cut that bitch off next caller. We got that one done. Okay, now let's move on. I'd like to give my amazing little wife, Kayla, a birthday shout out. She really deserves one. She has the most amazing butt and really keeps our family together. I think she's turning 25 again. Either way, could you give her a Suck It Up cupcake? She would appreciate it. Rock on. That from Caven.
So, suck it up, cupcake!
Hello, men of the men's room. Today is my future husband's birthday, and he would freak out if he heard the birthday song from you guys. And something said with the dirty German accent. His name is Colton, and he listens to you guys any chance he gets, and we listen together when he picks me up from work. Thank you guys from the laughs. That from the lovely Mara.
Yeah, Colton, for your birthday, I'm going to experiment with your DNA. You know what the D is. We're going to add nads and ass.
Yeah, happy birthday. Shannon Shaw, for most people don't know.
Yes.
German traditional family.
Want to wish my son Chad, a.k.a. Juice, pronounced Squeeze My Lemon, a happy 28th birthday. He listens every day while at work, fabricating steel pipe. And he loves working with pipe. Can you give him your penis is too small, followed by the dirty Germans talking about his beloved pipe. Love you, Chad. Thanks, guys. That from Dad.
Yeah, I do not know much about your pipe, but after your birthday, it'll be quite rusty.
Yeah, one thing I know about pipe is that you love to suck it. You can smoke out of pipes. Yes, Miles, we have a very important birthday today.
Okay. All the dinosaurs gotta get a birthday shout out for my brother-in-law Travis, a.k.a. Iceman. To celebrate, we're taking him down to Oregon and to a Super Game, a paintball game with around 2,000 players that spans 3 days. We'll be with the Bigfoot Brigade. Anytime we play a big paintball game, if it's an option, we play on the German side. So with that in mind, can I get your dirtiest paintball-related German happy birthday wish? Thanks, guys. That from Turbo.
Yeah, did not read too much into it, but in high school, they called me paintballs.
Yeah, my favorite part about these paintball games, it's much like real life. These balls explode in your face.
Birthday request from my husband, Andy. He listens to your show every day while traveling for work. His birthday request is a little kid fish sandwich and the dirty Germans talking all over each other. Thank you, guys. That from Kelly, Andy's wife of over 8 years.
Yeah, see, I can tell he's past the 7-year itch. So now he's in the 8th year. That's the year you show your German sausage.
Hola, Michelos. Today's my 42nd. Thanks for all you do, and thank you to the members of the armed forces for what you do for our country. Can I please get a barbershop quartet fish sandwich? That from Speedy Badger Steve.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. I smell the fish sandwich, maybe some dill relish in the morning, at noon, and at night, and at night.
Matilda, today marks my 46th and my father's 71st trip around the sun. We're both avid listeners and ask each other, did you listen to the show today often? And would love to get all of you talking all over each other. Thanks for making the days a bit better. That from Matthew. Well,
you know, one of the first things I do in the morning is you just pull your fingers out and scratch right in the crack of your
meditate a little bit.
A little bit later.
Maybe listen to a speech from
Is that what I honestly smell like in the morning?
Maybe
That's
just
the
take
case.
a
What can you do?
bad.
It's only chew your fingernails.
And one final birthday, ladies and gentlemen. This says Ola Bichola's Mike Hawk's mother is how old today? Oh, it doesn't say. Do we know the age? Do we know the age?
Like 36.
36 years old. Could she please get the dirty Germans talking about what it's like to be Mike Hawk's mom?
Yeah, I think you know exactly what it is like to be the mother of Mike Hawk.
Yeah, I recently paid $20 to her to have the Mike Hawk experience. I get to go where he came from.
Love you, Ma.
That's like the worst Hallmark card ever.
Don't say you love your mom after the dirty German there.
Damn, man.
All right, guys, here we go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, bitches.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
A couple extras here. This from When Did Words Do You or Someone Dirty? Ola Bicholas, I was listening to the show from the last day of Weed Week, and it reminded me of a good friend of mine who worked at Subway. He got fired because some guy walked in wearing a Jimmy John's t-shirt. My friend said, "We don't serve your kind here." Man in the Jimmy John shirt was African-American. That from Big Daddy Nick. Fast food. Olavicholas, I've been working on drive-thrus for the last couple of months, upgrading the wiring, the headsets, all the stuff that lets them know you're there, etc., etc. People hate me, guys, because this crap takes time, and telling people they have to get out of their car to get food is very 80s, I guess. Well, last week at a store unnamed, but they love the meats, I had a work van parked the wrong way with 2 huge orange cones placed at the start of the drive-thru. I came out of the place to do some final testing and found 9 cars waiting in line to get food. I talked to the old-timer in front of the line and said, "Hey, sorry, it's closed. I had cones up to stop people." He said, "Oh, I thought they fell off the van in front of you, so I moved them." He sat looking at the front of my van. I had to walk back and explain to many, many hungry people that the drive-thru was closed and help them back out. Best part was the stone guy sitting there had sat there for 20 minutes waiting and had not been able to back out. Please don't move the cones, you jackasses. Love you guys. Keep doing what you do. And Ted still owes me a cooler from back in the day at the Seahawks rally way back. You on my list, Ted. That from Ray. LOL.
What'd you do to his cooler, man?
I don't know. I'm trying to think, did I steal a cooler?
That doesn't sound above you. Good and drunk. I can see you doing
I
that.
had a Seahawks. Yeah, this guy hates me, man. I've moved cones, too.
Yeah. Hi, guys. My station, Big Dog 97.9, doesn't play in your show until late at night. I'm just getting off work, so catching up on a decent chunk of the show. Anyway, I should preface all this with saying we were hammered. Jameson, Jim Beam, Ghost, Coors Light, hammered. 4 a.m., hunger sets in. We need a designated driver. We can barely walk, but still verbally gifted to over-explain and tell everything. My girlfriend at the time, now 10 years in and a kid, was nice enough to drive, so we go to Mickey D's and make an order. And we're in between the pay window and the pickup window. In front of us, we can't tell if it's a chick driving, and my girlfriend comments on maybe how unattractive this person looks. We all laugh, and then my buddy window rolls down. He doesn't have a filter sober, and sure as hell not one what he's been drinking. So he starts blurting out, "Butterface," and some profane downstairs comments. Of course, the 3 of us find this to be hilarious. The chick in front of us does not. Now the locks on the old Jeep are funny in that they only lock the front doors. He's in the back. This chick gets out of her car, starts cussing my buddy as she walks to the window and straight punches him in the face. He's so drunk he just keeps talking smack and laughing about it. She's getting even more pissed, opens his door, and literally gets in the Jeep and starts swinging wildly in our back seat. We're too busy laughing at my buddy to help. Eventually, she gets back to her car. The entire time, my buddy is still yelling "Butterface" to this girl. We get our food, laughed about it the whole way home, and still do to this day when we get together and drink. All someone has to say is "Butterface," and we lose our minds. That from Justin, living in Riverton, Kansas, who listens on Big Dog 97.9. All right, bitches, coming up, the return of the word as we go down the drain, and we'll drink and toast with a shot of the day. But first...
Now, the men's room wants to know, who sucks less?
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Less. Steve the Thrill Hill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each week. All these stories suck, but it is up to us to determine which of these stories suck the least. Now, if you like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed. And today there's a general theme that I think you'll find in Who Sucks Less, and I just want to explain. Remember, don't get mad at me. You share the planet with these people. All right, so as always, we have 3 stories, and there's a veterinarian in New York who will be taking on 2 men from Washington State. And then we go international this week, where Australia also gets into the act. But let's begin in New York, where a veterinarian is accused of implanting liquid heroin into puppies for a Colombian drug trafficking ring. He's now in custody in New York. And yes, you heard me right. Andres Lopez Alzura. He's awaiting a court appearance in Brooklyn. Now, he's Venezuelan, and he was arrested in Spain a couple of years ago. He's finally extradited to the U.S. earlier this week. And authorities say that this guy stitched patches of heroin into the bellies of Labrador retrievers and other breeds that were then sent on commercial flights to New York City. The packets were then cut out of the puppies, who, as they say, died in the process.
Oh,
now, 10 puppies were rescued from a farm. There's no immediate information on an attorney for this guy on this behalf. All right, so that's that guy. Now let's go to Washington State, Port Orchard specifically, where 2 men have been charged with animal cruelty and the shooting of a 5-month-old Labradoodle This Labradoodle, however, did survive its injuries. According to the Kitsap Sun, they say the puppy, named Audrey, was found in the park after a neighbor heard a gunshot and then a whimpering dog. The dog had been shot in the abdomen. She underwent emergency surgery. She is recovering. Now, eventually, police tracked the guy down who shot the dog, and the guy who shot the dog was the owner of the dog. I don't know how to explain.
Dang.
And then this one is just, no one can identify specifically who this person is, but we go to Australia, where the video was posted.
Oh, no.
And it's, oh, yeah, a boy throws a puppy into a crocodile-infested lake. All right? All they know is he's wearing a white polo shirt, cut-off jeans. I saw the video today. It's absolutely awful. It wrecked my cock. He walks down to some jagged rocks. He's holding a small puppy by the neck. He throws it into the crocodile-infested water. Basically, crocodile pops out of the water, eats the thing whole. Whole, man.
No.
Whole.
No.
Gone. 1 minute's there, next minute's gone. Not clear who the man is in the 36-second video, nor who filmed the footage, but obviously people are trying to figure it out. So again, we have the veterinarian who's in New York. He's accused of implanting heroin into puppies that were then sent from one country to another. We have the two men in Washington State that are arrested for shooting a 5-month-old puppy. And then we have the unknown Australian man throwing a puppy into crocodile-infested water. And Miles, you are watching that video.
Oh, man.
Do we know any backstory on why, like, the guy in Washington State shot him?
I do not. I don't have that information. It might be out there. I don't have it.
Man, that's tough.
It is tough.
Yeah.
The veterinarian sucks.
Oh, you just missed it.
Oh. That is, boy, oh boy. God, they were right earlier about all these sucking.
And people were mad at me in the hall.
Yeah, I'm mad at you right now. I guess.
Listen, I'm going to go
the 2 men in Washington who are arrested and charged with shooting a 5-month-old puppy in a park suck the least. Simply because the puppy survived and they were arrested. The guy who threw the puppy into crocodile-infested water, if the litmus test is this is the only thing that could be the litmus test, is if they were taken in. So the veterinarian in New York was busted, was arrested. He sucks the most. All right? The 2 men in Washington, they were arrested for their crimes. So I'm going to have to say, and the dog lived.
The dog
did not live in Australia, that they sucked the least, basically.
But the dog in Australia, keep in mind, there's
only one dog that lived, and that was the dog in Washington that was shot. So based on that only, I'm going to have to say, unfortunately, in this no-win situation, that situation sucks the least, even though it doesn't suck at all. It sucks a lot.
All right. I had a couple different thoughts here. I know, it's horrible. They're right. They're all involved puppies. I mean, I guess you could say the veterinarian sucks the most because it was heroin, which also was going to go hurt other people after that.
He's also a doctor. He's a veterinarian that you should trust. So there's even more to that.
Right.
And he's obviously done this before.
That was his job. I mean, that's what they paid him to do.
The two guys in Washington, I mean, that dog got shot and he lived, but he still got a bullet hole in him.
He took a bullet, like 50.
I think just based on how quickly it ended, I'm going to take the dude in Australia sucking the least.
Is this because of Melvin Ted?
Just because it was quick and it was whole and it was over.
No, I have to agree with Ted
I'm
on
just
that.
saying,
No, man. If you see the video.
What about the dog that's still alive in the park?
I know he's
got
still alive.
shot.
But he's still alive. He made it through.
But that doesn't make them better.
No, it doesn't.
It makes the story better.
Right.
It doesn't make those guys
they were also arrested for it.
I know, but it doesn't make those guys
The guy who
better.
threw the puppy into the pond in Australia, he's on the lamb.
It's not cool.
He could throw a lamb in there.
But if you see the video, that puppy did not suffer, man. I mean, like, it was...
All right.
That's my only thing.
Okay.
That's my only thing in this. I understand the dog survived in the second.
So
I agree.
Your litmus test is suffering.
But it does not make those guys, and their stories better, but those guys, it does not make them
my litmus test
better.
is the outcome of the dog being alive or not.
If someone tries to kill you but they don't succeed, you don't say, well, they're a little less bad because they weren't successful.
Right.
Like,
I understand.
I still don't trust them.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I still think they tried to kill me, it just didn't work. I'm not like, oh, well, all's forgiven.
If you like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live, the debate is heating up there on Who Sucks Last. Coming up, we'll drink and toast with a shot of the day. The word goes down the drain. Coming up, we'll find out what the city council in Houston thought was a good idea. In fact, it is a good idea, but it comes with a little bit of fun. So the word is coming up next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
We'll find this on the way. We will drink and toast with a shot of the day. But first,
The word.
time for the word. It started out as a great idea, and it still is a great idea. In all truth and honesty, the people of Houston and the city of Houston, they need a little help with flooding. It rains there quite a bit, and as things have been changing that direction, you could understand that they came up with a great idea, and the city council came up with Adopt a Drain. What is Adopt a Drain? Adopt a Drain is the opportunity for anyone in the city of Houston to actually adopt a drain. But it would then be your responsibility to clear said drain in the event of any flooding or like following Hurricane Harvey, for an example. That was the inspiration behind.
And it's just like the grate, right? I don't have to get in the drain.
No, just the grate.
No, you have to clear the area.
4 times a year. Yeah, it's 10 feet away. Yeah. 4 times a year, you're responsible to clear at least 10 feet of debris from around it.
Now, how this works, they suggest that you look at the online map, and it shows all the drains available in the city. You can pick a drain either closer to you or one that's convenient to your workplace to be able to monitor, okay? So once you've claimed your drain, you'll be sent an email asking you to commit to cleaning 10 feet on both sides of the drain at least 4 times a year. Composting and placing leaves in a lawn bag, and the city will know to pick it up on certain days. So that's the idea.
Yeah.
Now, one caveat to all this, the city of Houston decided to let people name their drain.
Thrill hole.
So the Adopt a Drain program is getting a lot of laughs over that ability. And according to the Houston Chronicle, some of the more hilarious nicknames include Mass Hole, It's Draining Men, and Sir Drains a Lot. People have also used part of Houston's volunteer Adopt a Drain program to make multiple names, as in Calvin and Hobbs. There's F. Critical Mass, Thomas the Thirsty Trench, Heavy D's Portal of Doom, Drainy McDrainface, Bodie McBoat Drain, Dagobah Drain. Have you ever seen the drain? There's Purple Drain, Blue Eyes Crying in the Drain, Lady Jane Drain. Now keep in mind, this thing was just launched 2 days ago.
Right.
Blame it on the drain. Huge gaping hole, insane in the drain. This is your drain on drugs. Wait, there's more. Sterling Cooper, Drainper Price, The Pain Drain, and Stormy Dranules.
Stormy Dranules.
Stormy
That one's good.
Dranules.
Yeah, but wouldn't you be more compelled to want to help them clear the drain?
And by the way, yes, they're thinking about putting up plaques alongside these with the name on the curb.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
You can be claimed with your name and the name of your drain. All right, woman, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
All right, made it to drinking time, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve Throw-Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast, an unidentified woman from West Norrington Township, Pennsylvania. Our very own Mike Hawk brought her up yesterday, but I believe she deserves to be singled out and certainly toasted. If you didn't hear the story, this particular woman is diagnosed with something called mechanophilia, and it's a sexual attraction to vehicles, and apparently this is a very real condition. So a few weeks ago, the traffic driving past the woman's house was just filled with too many sexy cars for her to handle. Now, keep in mind, she's not attracted to just any vehicle, right? There's certain types, just like people, certain types of people you're attracted to, same with her. But she ended up bolting out of her house and started running through the traffic. Now, someone called the cops. The cops wound up tracking her down, but when they caught up with her, she was standing in a parking lot, which must have felt like being, one hell of an orgy to her, right? All these willing vehicles. But they reminded her that running through traffic is dangerous, and then they took her home. But when they got there, she ran over to a Nissan Pathfinder, okay? Apparently, and this is what I did not know for her, the Nissan Pathfinder, this is the granddaddy. She kissed it, she hugged it, and then she called it husky bear. Then she yelled at another car that wasn't quite into her style, but they did not reveal exactly what she said, but it's very profane. Apparently, the woman runs off like this a lot, and the company she works for even has 2 health aides that stay with her at her house, but they're not allowed to actually grab her. There's not that much they can do.
2 full-time aides to keep her from running out into traffic and having sex with a car.
And they found her in traffic having sex with the car. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola, bichola! Let's get caller 9 on the line, 844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.